Blessed love and blessed day, oh boxing world, boxing nation, fighting world, fighting nation. It's Coach Fight and this is real life boxing. And in this video, I'm gonna be giving y'all my fight prediction on ERROL, the big fish, man down Spence versus YORDENIS Ugas. They're unifying this weekend. Hey, before we get into it, I'm gonna ask you guys to give me y'all best double jab right down the pipe, double jab straight down the pipe, 1-1-2 combination. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when all videos are being uploaded on the channel of Real Life Boxing. Let's get into it. ERROL, the big fish, man down Spence versus YORDENIS Ugas this weekend. They're unifying. ERROL Spence is the WBC and IBF welterweight champion. YORDENIS Ugas is the WBA super welterweight champion. Well, welterweight, the super WBA, whatever you want to call it, WBA champion. So they're unifying this weekend. YORDENIS Ugas is coming off of his victory against Manny Pacquiao. ERROL, the big fish, man down Spence, is coming off his victory over Danny Garcia. He was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao, but then he went down due to a eye injury, which he had to have surgery. He had to pull out the Manny Pacquiao fight. Hence, we get to this fight. Well, hence is how YORDENIS Ugas got his shot against Manny Pacquiao. Went in there and beat Manny Pacquiao, became champion, and now he gets his shot at the big fish, man down ERROL Spence. What we thinking about this fight? So obviously ERROL Spence is coming off of his car crash. That was about 2 years ago. He has fought Danny Garcia since then, but then shortly after that had the retina injury in which he had to have eye surgery on. So for me, and I'm sure a lot of people, we're still thinking about how is ERROL Spence gonna look, because we haven't really seen him much, you know what I'm saying, after the car accident. You know what I mean? You know, we haven't really seen that much of ERROL Spence after the car accident. So I know, you know, like I said, big question for me, big question for everybody else is how is ERROL Spence gonna react to getting hit with a big punch, especially after the eye injury. Now, how is ERROL Spence gonna react? Because he didn't really get hit by much with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia fought a real tentative fight, didn't really press the issue that much, and to me, he didn't really get hit with much by Danny Garcia. But like I said, that's the big question. How is Spence gonna look? How is his body gonna look? How is he gonna react after getting hit with a big punch? Can he still push the pace like he's used to doing? Can he go the full fight like he's used to doing? Can he still fight at the pace that he's used to fighting at? Because ERROL Spence fights at a pretty high pace. Let's get into the fight now. YORDENIS Ugas. YORDENIS Ugas is more of a technical counter puncher. I wouldn't say he's back foot or front foot dominant. He kind of prefers to hold center ring, but does work behind the jab. Cuban fighter, very technical, very skilled, very careful fighter. He's semi-aggressive. He is aggressive, but you know, then he's not aggressive in spurts. He fights in spurts. Manny Pacquiao, he beat Manny Pacquiao, but in that fight, I feel like he could have done more damage against Manny Pacquiao. I feel like he could have possibly hurt Manny Pacquiao and done more damage if he would have pushed the pace a little bit more. Even in that fight, he was really careful, and I think that he's gonna fight pretty much the same way in this fight. I don't really see him trying to press the issue against ERROL Spence. I see him fighting very careful, possibly even more carefully than he fought in the Manny Pacquiao fight. So I see him fighting very tentative in this fight, very careful. He will, you know, take his shots and pick his shots, take openings when he sees them. But I don't think that that's necessarily going to be enough to beat ERROL Spence if we get a full 100% ERROL Spence. If we get the ERROL Spence that we're used to, I don't think that the tentative, careful style of fighting is going to be able to work against ERROL Spence. Yeah, he can land some points, but I don't think over a 12-round course that style can be effective, because ERROL Spence fights at a high pace. He brings the pressure. He goes to the body. You know what I'm saying? He's a hard puncher. I do expect the fight to be a good fight. I expect it to be a good fight. I expect it to be a competitive fight. And I expect Ugas to look good at times in the fight. you know what I'm saying, in spots in the fight. Just like I expect Errol Spence to look good in spots of the fight as well. But if you guys can follow me and you get where I'm going at, my prediction for this fight is Errol Spence. I don't know if by stoppage, but I expect Errol Spence to win, maybe a split decision or a unanimous decision, and maybe he possibly even stops YORDENIS Ugas. Now, not taking anything away from YORDENIS Ugas, I think that YORDENIS Ugas is a great fighter, and I think that he's going to put up a great fight, and I think that at moments he's going to have, good moments in the fight. At times he's going to have good moments in the fight. He's going to be doing good things. He's going to get some shots off, I do believe. But I just think that, and I've always thought this, I just think that Errol Spence fights at too high of a pace for YORDENIS Ugas, and I also think that YORDENIS Ugas is going to fight very tentative. And also, he may get pulled into a slugfest with Errol Spence because YORDENIS Ugas is tough. He has heart. He has pride. He's the type of fighter, when you hit him hard, he wants to get it back. So like I said, Errol Spence is bringing the pressure. Errol Spence is, he's coming. He's throwing punches. If we get the Errol Spence of old, the Errol Spence that we're used to seeing. If we get the regular Errol Spence, he's fighting at a very, high pace, at a very high pace, technical behind his jab as well. Southpaw, loves to go to the body. He's a master at controlling distance, and a master at throwing his body shots, a master at disguising his body shots, a master at mixing his body shots into his combinations. Just absolutely masterful. And I think that, ultimately, that is going to be a little bit too much for YORDENIS Ugas to deal with. So I'm my prediction for this fight is Errol Spence by unanimous or split decision, or possibly stoppage. You know what I mean? Like I said, if Errol Spence turns up the heat and YORDENIS Ugas gets pulled into a slugfest with Errol Spence, or gets pulled into trading, hard punches on the inside with Errol Spence, I think it can be problems for YORDENIS Ugas. With that being said, I do think that there's a chance that Ugas can hurt Spence as well. Like I said, we all iffy about Errol Spence and how he's gonna look coming off of the long delay, coming off of the car accident injuries, coming off of the eye injury. We still really iffy about how he's gonna look. But I'm speaking on the basis of if we get the Errol Spence that we're used to seeing. I'm 100% Errol Spence. I think that he wins the fight. So that's my prediction for this fight. You guys tell me what y'all think about this fight in the comment section. Who's going to win the fight? How they're going to win the fight? I do think that it's a great fight, though. I do think that it's a great fight. And I'm very excited. It's my birthday weekend, my birthday month. So this is a nice little treat for me to get on my birthday. Very, very, very excited. We ain't seen Errol Spence in the ring for a while, so I'm sure, like I'm excited. I'm sure everybody else is excited. Shout out to both fighters for taking the fights. Errol Spence, he got a hell of a resume. All he got to do is get in there with Bud after this. I think if he gets in there with Bud after this, he'll pretty much he could cement his name as an all-time great of this era if he gets in there with Bud, win or lose, because he has fought all those guys. The only one that he hasn't fought is Keith Thurman. But Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, beat Kell Brook. Now fighting YORDENIS Ugas, was lined up to fight Manny Pacquiao. So his resume is pretty decent. But like I said, my prediction for this fight, I'm going with Errol Spence. Anyway, unanimous, split. Possibly he gets the stoppage against YORDENIS Ugas. I'm not counting YORDENIS Ugas all the way out in this fight, though. I do give YORDENIS Ugas a shot. I say it was about 60-40 towards Errol Spence. So I do give YORDENIS Ugas a 40% chance of winning this fight. But my prediction for the fight is Errol Spence by anyway. He gets the unanimous, the split decision, or possibly stops YORDENIS Ugas if we see the Errol Spence of old. I'm not even going to say the Errol Spence of old. The Errol Spence. if we get the Errol Spence that we're used to seeing, I think the outcome of this fight is YORDENIS Ugas becomes the 3 sanctioned and body champions. You know what I'm saying? I think he takes the WBA away from YORDENIS Ugas, and then hopefully we get Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol the Big Fish Man down Spence. Anyway, you guys tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section. Until then, keep fighting your fight. Protect yourself at all times, man. Peace and one love. It's Coach Fight. This is Real Life Boxing.